Hey guys, let's have some fun. For the benefit of my viewers, I want to go through 5 points that most people who are looking to buy a property, whether in Dubai or anywhere internationally, people can use these 5 points as a benchmark to differentiate between somebody who's going to be a trusted advisor to them or somebody who's going to be a sleazy salesperson, and why they should stay away. Well, it's obvious why they should stay away. Stick around till the end. I'm going to go through 5 points. If you haven't already, press the subscribe button and the bell icon. Makes me feel good. I've become a real YouTuber in front of my children and they look up to me, right? Also, my name is Fahd Dawood. I've been doing real estate, Dubai specifically, but internationally as well for 14 plus years. I'm also the author of The Intelligent Real Estate Investor. You can buy it off Amazon. If you want to work with me one-on-one, there is a contact form below. Please fill it up completely, as accurately as possible. I do charge a fee to work one-on-one. If you've got general questions that you feel I should answer on YouTube or I should pick up as a topic, you can put them in the comments section. If you want to reach me specifically, then there's a contact form at the bottom. Okay, so let's just differentiate and I'll go through 5 points. There's many more that you can go through with, and I'm just going to go through a few, okay? So which one should I do? Let's pick up a sleazy salesperson first, okay? Now, I'm not putting down any salespeople because I'll be honest with you. I'll be the first one to admit I've been very salesy in my life at certain points in my career. I started in sales in 2005, and I've been on the desperate end as well. I need to get a sale. There's a lot of pressure building up in the organization on me personally. So I'm not going to say I've been sleazy, but hey, I've been a pushy salesperson myself. So I'm definitely not going to say, hey, I am the best trusted advisor out there. But I would like everybody to recognize that. And then if salespeople are seeing this video, they can pick up a few things. Those who are trusted advisor can say, hey, yeah, we act like advisors. If you're a property buyer, property is going to be the most expensive investment most people make. It's right under buying a private, your own yacht and your own private airplane, right? Okay. The sales guy is going to understand his product. Let's just, for brevity's sake, he understands his product very, very, very well, okay? That's never a bad thing. That's a good thing, right? Because allowing the salesperson to understand his product, the features, the benefits is always amazing and awesome because it allows him to sell more of the product to willing buyers who come to him to gain information. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, right? A salesperson's job and role is to understand his product very, very well. There's nothing wrong with that. And they should be able to go from A to Z within 10 minutes, giving you all the benefits, all the features of that particular property, of that particular development, and all the reasons, 1001 reasons why you should be actually buying their property. So they understand their product very, very well. Nothing wrong with that, but that just happens to be the reality of the situation of somebody who's a salesperson. An advisor understands your needs and the product, okay? So a trusted advisor essentially understands you, because at the end of the day, you're the buyer. Now, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with selling a property to willing buyers that are coming in and they need to quickly buy. There's absolutely nothing wrong. Why shouldn't a salesperson just sell? But an advisor, a trusted advisor, whose advice you can trust, he understands your needs first before he starts telling you the benefits or the features of the product. I'll give you a classic example. So I had one of my friends, childhood friend, come up to me and say, look, Fahd, we live as this one big gigantic family on this one big villa in Dubai, which is 5+ bedrooms, etc., etc. What we'd like to do is still keep the family together, but live in 3 different apartments next to each other. Could you help us out? I said, sure. This is back in 2013 or 14. Lo and behold, his father and his brother turn up to one of these mega launches with one of these big developers. They kind of felt really privileged just to be able to get into the launch. And, most of these launches have nice looking girls, with some skirts, and they speak well and they understand the product really well. This person ended up selling to his brother and his father a 3-bedroom townhouse that was going to be complete in 2 years' time. So here was my friend holding this large deposit for 3 separate apartments that would have met his needs. They go in to a mega launch and the salesperson sells them this townhouse that my friend then later admits their entire family can never move into. But he kind of like blocked all of his, because it's a liability, right? You end up going to pay over the construction period and when the handover takes place, right? So he ended up being, it is what it is. We couldn't buy the property that we wanted and we stuck with this property. Fair enough. It happens. In my personal opinion, 7 out of 10 people don't make money in real estate. And this sometimes is the reason. Working with an advisor, it allows your needs to be first met before you select the real estate product, right? Does that make sense to you? Point number 2, the sleazy salesperson has less or no experience. Okay? Now the sleazy salesperson, it's not like he has no experience. It's just he's got less experience, right? And that's why he's going to be looking to sell that one particular product or 2 different products or his real estate property, so on and so forth. Again, nothing wrong with that. But then when you go and work with that salesperson, you got to understand that that salesperson does not have a ton of experience to match sometimes your requirements. Now, real estate in Dubai so far over the last 20 years has been snapped up and bought within minutes, right? One of our first properties that I bought with my partner back in 2008, I bought in downtown at 5,000 dirhams per square foot, a completely wrong investment. We literally had, I think we had like a half an hour to decide, right? Here was this lady with an iPad and she said, this is the unit that I think is still available. If you'd like to buy it, I need to book it now before somebody else buys it. And we ended up buying this 1-bedroom apartment with a huge terrace, and it cost us 5,000 per square feet back in 2008. I still have the SPS to prove it. But, the mistake was ours. It wasn't the salesperson. But, any experienced salesperson would actually be able to advise it and say, look, this is not an ideal property for you. But hey, salesperson's got to do their job and sell. Perfectly okay. So I empathize with them and I love them. Nothing wrong with that. But a trusted advisor, he is going to be, well, I say he, could be a she. But since you're watching my video, let's just say he, right? He has tons of experience, right? He's been in the trenches. A lot of the experienced advisors have been on this side and been pushy salespeople, I think, right? I personally believe that I was never too much of a pushy salesperson. If it didn't meet or match the person's requirements, like why push them into making the decision? There have been times where the people who were buying were just too eager and I allowed the sale and the deal to go through. I could see it's not a good match for them, but they wanted it really badly. So I was like, okay, well, that's fine. But most of the time, I was never a pushy salesperson, but hey, I'm a salesperson as well. At the core of things, I am. But I've got a ton of experience to understand your needs, to be able to match you with the right property that meets your needs, right? There is no urgency for me to sell you today, okay? Okay, so does that differentiate you? It helps you understand There's no experience or less experience, and there is experience. And unfortunately, because what most buyers don't recognize is when you come into the real estate industry, you don't have the stick or the yardstick to measure somebody's experience. The real estate salesperson knows very well about his product, and he can blurb at 1,000 miles per hour, words at 1,000 miles per hour that makes you feel that he has experience, but he doesn't have experience, real experience that counts for you to be able to get exactly the product or the real estate property that meets your needs. Okay, a pushy salesperson is going to create urgency. Okay, that's classic. There's nothing wrong with that. We're all trained to do that. If we don't create urgency, you're going to end up not buying today or the next week or the next month. Now, I subscribe to the school which says create urgency only if you truly 100% believe that this property is a great deal for your buyer. Okay, that's the only way. So trusted advisors, they will create no urgency, but they will lay down all the facts, right, to the buyer. For example, look, Mr. Buyer, I understand that your needs are A, B, C, D, E, F. These 6 needs are absolutely, by my experience, met by this property. Now, this property actually meets your needs, and there are generally 2 or 3 available in the market at this moment in time. Now, the demand for these has been fairly low in the recent past weeks. However, we've seen a little bit of interest, but no actual sales happen in the last week. Now, you could wait for a week or 2 weeks, and maybe they're gone and sold. And so in Dubai, and in our religion, we say Naseeb means it was destiny, fate. You weren't meant to buy this. And it's okay. We'll look for something else that meets your needs. But if you are going to know that you'll regret losing out on this particular property, then you should buy. But I do not create urgency. What I do is lay down all the facts for the buyer to decide himself. Now, the facts might be encouraging him to make a decision today and then live with his decision. What I do not do as a trusted advisor is push him to make a decision in favor of buying the property and then tell him that he's going to be a loser big time and his wife's going to divorce him if he does not buy today. Yeah, does that make sense? A sleazy salesperson is going to hide information. Okay, now I gotta be fair with these salespeople, right? Because we already said they've got less experience. So sometimes they're not hiding information, they just don't have information, right? So am I going to really hold that against them? No. But what ends up happening is sometimes they might have certain information. They just feel if they release this information to the buyer is not going to buy. A trusted advisor is going to share information. So info for short. A trusted advisor is going to share as much as possible. Now, I'm going to speak about myself, okay? Has the trusted advisor always been the person sharing all the information? Nope. He's got enough experience to recognize that if he does not share all the pertinent details of the transaction, the details that he hides and does not share are going to come back to bite him in the behind, right? Has that happened to me? Yes, it has, right? Has it happened to me where I did share information but just gave it a positive spin, thinking that things would turn out well? Yes, it has. But then who took responsibility? I took responsibility for that particular incident, something that happened 7-8 years ago. I sold the property. The tenants gave me a verbal commitment that we're gonna move out. And this beautiful Egyptian family bought this amazing property, and the tenants gave me a verbal agreement that they're gonna move out. But guess what happened? They reneged on their promise. And so this family, and I gave the verbal promise to these guys, right? But I was hoping that the tenant's not gonna renege. Ended up, he reneges. Family's telling me, hey, you promised me they'll leave. Guess who's responsible? I'm responsible. And so at this stage, I have 3-4 meetings with the tenant. He's a lawyer, but he's a local Emirati, and he's a very good gentleman, because I tell him, look, this is not how we do business, right? This is not what our culture and tradition, our values and our religion teaches. Like, our word's supposed to be our bond, right? This is how the locals over here in the UAE used to do business. And I try to plead to his significant values, and then he says, yeah, you're right, I get it, good, we're gonna move out. So he moves out, and kudos to him. We just had to meet a couple of times, and for me to explain that him not moving out is harming this family. But I took responsibility for this, right? What I should have done is I should have explained to them, and I said, look, this is the situation. He's got rights to stay there for 12 months, but he's given me his verbal word that he'll move out. That's it. And you, Mr. Buyer, need to decide based on that. Instead, I said to the buyer, no, buy. He's given me a promise, and I promise that I'll get him out. Totally wrong. Maybe it's not even hiding information. Maybe it's over-promising. Actually, that's something else that salespeople do. I would say over-promising, right? Over-promising. So instead of 5, we're going to have 6 over here. We trusted advisors under promise. Why? Because we've seen the cycles, right? We've seen the real estate cycle. So we're not going to promise you, all right, you're buying a property here, you know, brilliant, you're going to benefit extremely well because price is going to go up here. You know what? Maybe you're buying a property here, and instead of telling you that the price is going to go up here, I just tell you, look, we might end up being here. I don't know. Nobody knows the future, right? Those who try to predict the future are bound to eat crystal glass. So a sleazy salesperson is going to overpromise. Trusted advisor is going to underpromise. We try to do that, okay? A sleazy salesperson, I hate to say this, but they might lie. Or they might bullshit you. So I'm going to use the word BS. And they are sometimes bullshit artists, okay? What do I mean by that? In Dubai's terms, they might promise you that, hey, you know, you're gonna have the canal view from this apartment, or the metro's coming soon over here, and the metro is like, I don't know, it's like maybe 7 years, 10 years away, maybe if. So they might lie to you, okay? Now there's a reason why they end up doing this, okay? Whereas the trusted advisor, he's going to not lie to you. He's going to accept his ignorance on something, okay? Now, as I said to you, I don't want to put down salespeople too much, because, you know, I'm a salesperson still. At the heart of it, I'm still selling real estate. So I admit it. So I'm a salesperson through and through, and that's how I create my bread and butter. I like selling, right? That's fine. So I'm not going to put them down. So what I'm going to say is sometimes they lie deliberately, and sometimes they bullshit or BS because they don't have all knowledge available to them. Whereas a trusted advisor, what we're going to do, if you ask me a question, we've been through it so many times, I'm going to accept that, listen, I don't know what this is or what the fee is or what might be, but I will check for you, right? I have enough experience to be able to get that information for you and bring it forward. So, just to give you a quick recap, a salesperson knows his product inside out. An advisor knows your needs inside out. Sleazy salesperson, let's not say sales, okay? So let's just call it sleazy sales, okay? Because that's what I said, okay? All salespeople are not sleazy, it's just a few, okay? Sleazy salesperson has less or no experience. A trusted advisor has a good amount of experience. A sleazy salesperson is going to create urgency. A trusted advisor is not going to create urgency. He's going to lay down the facts and allow you to make the best decision based on information as possible. A sleazy salesperson is going to hide information. An advisor is going to share information. A sleazy salesperson is going to overpromise. An advisor is going to underpromise. Sleazy salesperson, because they lack information, sometimes lie, and they sometimes become BS artists, whereas a trusted advisor is going to accept ignorance and say, I'll get that information for you. Check this out. Look, if you want to work with a trusted advisor in Dubai, you can contact me. I do charge a fee for it, but I'd be happy to go through the motions to explain what are the fees that I charge for my different services. If you want to be protected from sleazy salespeople, choose advisors who are trustworthy and can take you from A to Z in good form with your money. Protected. Okay, sorry, you can't see that properly because of the light reflection. All right, hit me in the comment section below if there's any question that you might have that you feel I can answer for you in or on YouTube. Ciao for now. Bye.